Well, my concerns are that there isn't a national housing strategy, and there hasn't ever been one, and we're one of the only Western countries, if not the only one, without a national housing strategy.
I think it's very important for Newfoundland, for Canada to have a national housing strategy. In terms of Newfoundland, it will greatly impact, I think, how we do our work, and it will impact how the provincial government funds housing and housing services.
And I'm excited about looking at a housing perspective because every meeting we have of the NWT shelters, housing's the #1 talked about point because there's so little of it. It impacts our shelter work so greatly, and it's such a barrier for women.
Our population is about 70,000 people, and so we pull from, although we also pull from quite a large area around there. And so some of our issues are related to transportation and the unique needs of different women coming from all over really northern Alberta.
Il y a des différences au niveau du logement en général, particulièrement Montréal, j'entendais beaucoup plus de difficultés à obtenir du logement social. Je pense que ce qui est intéressant au Québec, c'est d'avoir le logement social est un genre de parapluie à différentes sortes de logements sociaux, donc ça c'est intéressant aussi. On parle de coopératives, oui les HLM c'est une solution parmi tant d'autres, mais c'est ça, donc les coopératives où les femmes peuvent s'investir, apprendre, avoir des objectifs à plus long terme, etc.
I think in Newfoundland we have homelessness issues, but they are more hidden. We have less street people, although there are some street people in some of the larger urban areas, but we have a lot of hidden homelessness and we have a lot of people precariously housed.
So in London, Ontario context, there isn't enough affordable housing. Women are placed in positions of having to provide incredibly intimate details in order to access safe, affordable housing, and sometimes it's not even adequate, it's just affordable. It's not a fair process. There are way too many barriers for people who are poor to have to cross in order to get housing.
The North started out with less. We get less money because it's per capita funding, so you can't build the capacity very well or very quickly. You've got huge distances and you've got really high needs. You've got high rates of violence against women. You've got a lot of trauma women in terms of residential schools and colonization, so you just have violence just seems to be everywhere, and it's so normalized, and yet we need to find ways to help women have other options.
Donc, je pense que déjà, en ayant la cause des femmes victimes de violences conjugales à cœur, d'avoir toujours ça en tête et de vouloir que le logement soit une facilité, soit pas un frein à quitter la relation violente, je pense qu'on a vraiment un bon bout de chemin déjà fait. Puis on a toujours cette perspective-là en tête. Puis je pense que le travail, en tout cas, je regarde les objectifs qu'on a mis de l'avant aujourd'hui, je me dis, oh, on a vraiment du travail sur la planche, mais en même temps, c'est réaliste.
So my hope is that the work that we did in this last 2 days is used, that it goes forward, and that some of the recommendations that we've made will go to the next committee as they develop recommendations for the national housing strategy.
As shelter workers, we're the experts in this field, and no one else is doing this work, and so we need to continue to connect and collaborate on all of the different issues that women experience and that we experience in assisting and supporting and working with women in our different communities.